Get it, get it.
Cool. Yeah, some of those will be nice.
Hi guys, I just got out of work and just wanted to turn on the camera, honestly, just to talk about this book. I finished it over the weekend and I loved it. I feel like I am just so angry with myself because it took me so long to just pick this one back up. I attempted the physical book back in, I want to say it was like 2022, 2023. This is the UK edition. I picked it up in London in 2022. So I want to say I attempted to read it either that year or the following year, more than likely the following year. And then I attempted the audiobook, I believe last year. And both times I just did not finish it. I feel like I just wasn't in the right headspace for it and I wanted to give it my full attention. I wanted to be fully present. And I felt like I just, again, was not in the right headspace. Just finished it and it was, I know this is going to be in my top reads for 2025 for sure. I feel like it's been a couple of days now and I just can't stop thinking about it. I have been listening to Japanese Breakfast like nonstop. I have been watching like her interviews talking about this book, and then also like they are turning this into a movie, which is so amazing. Can't wait to see like the cast, like who they cast as Michelle and her mom. But yeah, the story was beautiful. It's about a Korean American. Her mom is or was Korean. Michelle's mom was Korean and her dad is American, white. And she just talks about just the struggles she faced as a Korean American most of the time, just not fully understanding her Korean culture. That was until her mother passed away and she started just going just deep into the cuisine and learning how to make these like dishes that her mom would make, which in turn like just made her feel closer to her mom. It was beautifully written. Michelle is a wizard when it comes to just writing. She is a songwriter, so I feel like part of that, you feel it in the book. Her mom died of cancer back in, I believe it was 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Michelle was 25 at the time. So yeah, she just takes us through her childhood, stories of her mom, stories of like her going to Korea and spending time with her family members. And also she tells us about her dad and like how her relationship with her dad was just different than her relationship with her mother. Her early adult years, she just wasn't that close to her mom. And then later on, she became like her caretaker until she passed away. There is like this part in the book, and she talks about when her mom finally passes away, she is dressing her up, and she's like in her room, like by herself. Her dad is not there. So she's getting her dressed so her mom could be taken to be cremated. And that part was really just so heartbreaking to read. She just talks about her body, because it's like slowly, what is that called? Her body's like stiff because she's been dead for a couple of hours. And so she's trying to get her dress, and then at some point her mom's like eyes like open, and like that part right there, and she like included that in this book. It's just so real, and I feel like that's what this book was. It was very raw, it was very real, it was very ugly at times, which it's so refreshing. But I love how she included that part in this book. So that's just like a little snippet of like what you get from Michelle. And I know like this book is very much like hyped. I understand why. So yeah, I just wanted to share that real quick. If you get anything out of this, it's just pick it up and read the story. Like, again, I have so many tabs, I don't even know like what to share. Let me see if this part right here, this is closer to the end of the book. This is after her mom passes away, where Michelle goes back to Korea. These were the places my mother had wanted to visit before she died. The places she'd wanted to take me to before our last trip to Korea was quarantined to a hospital ward. The last memories my mother had wanted to share with me. The source of the things she raised me to love. The tastes she wanted to remember. The feelings she wanted to never forget. And that part right there is this book. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, and I will see you on the next clip. I'm not Hi guys, we made it to the end of January. I wanted to quickly just recap the first month of the year, 2025. Lots of things happened this month. I feel like lots of changes, lots of good things. It was just so much that happened this month. A lot of that just I didn't record. I feel like I want to get better at just taking out my camera and recording moments. Not everything, but I do want to get better at that. But anywho, we are here. We made it. Beginning of the month, I went on a work trip to Las Vegas. There for about 3 days. I've never been to Las Vegas before. No shade to Las Vegas, but I just don't see me ever visiting again. It was cool just to hang out with my coworkers since I mostly work from home. I don't really see them that often. So it was cool just catching up with everyone. And it was also a lot. As an introverted person, just being around that many people for 3 days straight was a lot. I feel like getting home, I just like dissociated for like a couple days. Like I needed to just rest for a while because again, it was just a lot for me. Once I got back, we just got back into the swing of things. I feel like after that trip, that's when I really started feeling like it was like a new year, started implementing new things. One of those things was this reading journal. Miss Ivana actually influenced me to start a reading journal. I feel like I'm not the best at reviewing books. I'm not the best at retelling like what happens, or like sometimes it's hard just to get my thoughts out. So yeah, we implemented this year. After that trip, it was just home, spend time with family. But yeah, nothing really like too exciting, I guess. It just honestly it just felt like a long month. I feel like Q1 at work was just very slow to begin, but we are picking that up real quick. So I feel like I'm very busy right now at work. But so let me go through the books that I read this month. I read a total of 5 books. One of them was a audiobook, which was the first read of the year. It's Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I really enjoyed that book. I feel like it was a good book just to start, just to kick off the year for me, just easing my way into the new year of reads, the new year of books. So let me read through my notes. Oh, the first thing I wrote here is the way I can never again hear the word not without thinking of this book. If you know, you know. It was a little cringy at times. I feel like just like I mean, it's about vampires. I feel like any book about like vampires or like magical creatures, werewolves or wares, I guess. Um, it's gonna be a little cringe, but it was fun. I feel like, again, it was a fun read. It was the first book of the year, and I'm glad it was. I really enjoyed the audiobook. I feel like I would definitely recommend just listening to the audiobook. It was a fun time, like I said. So, yeah, that was the first book of the year. And then following that one, I read Everything You Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. It's this one. I feel like this is a very popular book. I feel like it's been out for a while. Everyone and their mom has talked about this book at some point or has read it at least. I really did enjoy it. I feel like it was funny, it was relatable. There was a part that was really sad to read, but overall, this was a really, really good memoir. I feel like I love Ollie's like just voice in general. I feel like she's just funny. Originally, I went into the book thinking that it was gonna be her retelling like her love, like conquest, like with like men or just like romantic partners, but that was not it. Like what I got from this book was like just the love that you receive from your friends is just top tier and like so necessary as women. I feel like we need those like friendships. We need that support, and it was just so lovely to just read it. Like it reminded me of like my relationships with like my female friends, specifically my best friend. I feel like it reminded me a lot of like how we are with each other. So I felt like my sisters also were represented in this book as friends, which is beautiful. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. And up next we have How We Named the Stars by Andres Ondrodica. Did I say that right? Andres Ordorica. And this one I was so excited about. You guys, I feel like I just wanted this book to hit. I wanted to just feel all the feels. I like the poetic writing. Like I just wanted to read something that was just poetically written. And it just wasn't it. It's about a college student who just started college, grappling with his sexuality, understanding it, and being able to just be his authentic self, also experiencing love for the very first time. And again, like it's a beautiful story. It sounds beautiful. It really does. I just feel like for me personally, I just couldn't really relate too much to it, maybe. Maybe like a high school student, I feel like would really benefit from reading a story like this. Like, there's a part in the book that I do want to mention where Daniel goes to a bookstore in his town, his college town, and he's looking specifically for a Latinx author. And he tells the bookseller that he hasn't really read too many books by Latinx authors and like what he would recommend. And that was relatable to me personally because I feel like me as a 30 something year old woman, like I really haven't read too many books by Latin authors. I do want to make a note to change that this year. I want to just diversify my reading this year for sure. So yeah, this was the third book of the year and I did enjoy it. I was just expecting more from it. Overall it was good though. The fourth book of the year, I have already spoken about. I loved it so much. I don't even feel like it's like I mentioned in a clip that I thought this was going to make my top reads of 2025. But honestly, I feel like it's my top reads point blank period, just overall. Like this was a 5-star read for me. This was a book that I know I will think about for years to come. It's just beautiful to read about Michelle's life. Crying in H Mart was just it just hit. It just checked all those boxes for me. I cried. I want to say like 30% of the book was just tears, crying, crying, crying. So this again, please pick it up. That's all I want to say. And then next up we have a essay collection by Sadie Smith. It's called Feel Free. I have always been intimidated by essay collections. I feel like I don't know why, but in general, like I've just been intimidated. I feel like I'm not the most diverse reader, or I haven't been in the past. So I feel like anything like this, I just would not have picked up. So I'm so proud of myself for picking this up. I haven't read too much of it. I feel like I am 20 pages in. So I think I've read like 3 essays. I have enjoyed them. I feel like I'm going to keep going. I'm going to hopefully finish this. I'm not even going to put a timeline. I will finish it at some point this year. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I have heard of Zadie Smith, but I don't know too much of her. I do have another book of hers, like an actual novel, which I am excited to dig into this year, hopefully at some point this year. She's hefty as well. But yeah, I'm excited to read that book. I think it's called White Teeth, or I believe it's White Teeth. I'll put it here somewhere in the screen. And finally, we have My Broken Language by Chiara Alegria Hudes. And this is actually a buddy read that Ivana reached out about. We had talked about wanting to do a buddy read specifically by a Puerto Rican author, a memoir, because we're just into memoirs. So I selected this one from the list of memoirs she had. And first, I love the cover. I'm not too far in. I'm about 22 pages in. I'm in chapter 4. And I'm just starting to understand the story, I guess. So Kiara is from Philadelphia, Philly, and her mother was raised in Puerto Rico. I don't know where her dad is from. I know he doesn't speak Spanish, so I'm not sure if he's Puerto Rican or other. I'm not sure. We're not there yet, but I am really enjoying the story so far. This is a Pulitzer Prize winner, so I have high hopes for it. So hopefully I'll be able to finish this one sometime in February now. But yeah, this is the last of the books for this month. So that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to just wrap up the video, the January. I wanted to make it more like a diary entry of like just what happened in the month. I hope you liked it. I'm just experimenting with this style of video. I mean, I'm experimenting with everything, but specifically this style. So let me know if you like it or not. Just leave a comment. And yeah, I will see you next time. I believe I'm planning to do like a best reads of 2024. Although I did not read too many books, I did have some good ones on there that I wanted to share. So hopefully that will be coming up next, but we'll see. So thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. There's a lot of notes.